So we know from covering my previous etymology videos about the etymology and epistemology of truth and the ancients' interpretations of what they considered to be truth. Again, it's all arising and stemming from the root of the truth, which is the root of the druva, of the tree, of the drew, the root of the drew wood, the true wood of the tree of knowledge, of wisdom, and the firm, steadfast solidity of the everlasting fulcrum, the hyperboloid of the torus, which is literally the eye of the vortex, the eye of the storm, the eye of the hurricane. It is the fulcrum, it is the still, ever-present, omnipresent stillness around which all things turn. Literally the meaning of the universe, literally meaning turning into or turning as one, literally meaning where we remain subservient essentially to the truth, means that we can't be misled, we can't be deterred, we can't be thrown off of our throne. Essentially, we can't be thrown off the throne, we can't be dethroned, we can't be overturned, we can't be pushed around and blown around like a leaf in the wind. We remain fixed and steadfast because the truth is always present. It is ever present, omnipresent. It is always there. And it is our purpose it is literally the fabric of the structure of creation. It is literally the equilibrium around which all things are held. And that equilibrium was discovered by Buckminster Fuller, or at least reworked and rediscovered, was the vector called the vector equilibrium, also known as the cube octahedron in sacred geometry, which is literally the structure of the vacuum of space itself. It is the vacuum, it is literally the geometric and mathematical structure of the vacuum of space, and it is so mathematically perfect that it is literally a perfect equilibrium. It is perfect balance. It is perfect balance remains. It is eternally stable. It is the epitome of stability. And that is the structure of truth right there. That is the very nature of truth, is steadfast. And so when we remain seeking in complete intellectual honesty to align ourselves with the truth, rather than remaining fixed and rigid in our belief structure, to where if the truth begins to prove that our belief structure actually begins to fall away and you are attached to that, your identity, your worldview, your who you think you are, what you think, your place, your position in this world, in this reality is, because it's attached to that belief system. If that belief system starts to then waver or falter, or it starts to be disproven as not as truthful as you thought it was, and you are fixed to that belief system, your identity starts to get, it's a vortex. It starts to get sucked out of its center of gravity along with that dissolving belief system. If you're not truly, if you remain fixed in knowing the truth, it is there. It is ever present. And if you remain with that, it doesn't matter what anybody says, or it doesn't matter what anybody else's worldview is, because you have the truth, and if you're disproved, and if you're proven incorrect in your belief system, then it's a good thing to be proven incorrect. You should be grateful and thankful because you now know the truth. And if you are proven correct in your analysis, meaning you are already aligned with the stability and equilibrium of the truth, then that is also great. It is a win-win situation when you align yourself with complete intellectual honesty and wanting to know the truth. The problem is, what if the truth makes you feel a certain way, otherwise known as cognitive dissonance, or your identity is attached to an ideology, to a belief structure that begins to dissolve as your worldview, your reality view, which is a sphere of influence. It is a mental sphere of ideas. And when that sphere begins to be stretched to its capacity, and some people are too fixed, remain too fixed in their worldview, and this means that when their worldview begins to be stretched beyond its limitation, if it is too rigid, it's going to completely pop or shatter, and that creates a psychological break. It creates psychological shock, or a type of distress or trauma. That is literally what creates cognitive dissonance. Whereas if your worldview, if you allow it to remain more open, more malleable, more flexible, if you allow it to remain more plastic, or in other words, more moldable, more stretchy, more flexible, it can expand to infinite lengths, and your worldview can still be maintained while expanding your understanding to a much greater degree, to where you can hold a much broader perspective, a much wider circumferential understanding of the whole, of the truth. From that eternal still point, from your still point of stability, fixed in the truth that remains in the center, but you allow your understanding of the truth to expand. You allow your reality to expand along with that, without having it shattering and without being attached emotionally to any idea. Because if you are truly intellectually honest and seeking the truth, then being disproven or proven incorrect means that you are still in the wisdom of learning and the wisdom of acquiring the truth, of uncovering and discovering and realizing the truth. So that is a great thing, even if it's information you don't want to, unless it's what you don't want to know. You're afraid of the truth. So this is your emotional blockage. If you're afraid of the truth, your emotions are what are preventing you from finding that solace, that stability in knowing the truth, even if it's upsetting, if it's disconcerting. But like the vortex, when your world ideology gets attached to something that is extraneous or erroneous, and it begins to falter, like a paint wheel, it gets spun out, and you get spun out and decentrated along with that, and your worldview dissolves along with that. You get taken along for the ride rather than remaining fixed along with that truth and remaining in that flow. And so again, my name is Cullen Smith. This is Lifting the Veil. You can find all of my full books, presentations, videos, films, articles, posts at patreon.com/liftingtheveil. And there is also a ton of exclusive content, and I will leave the cited reference links in the description down below. So you can check that out for all of my full content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe. Please help me reach more people by sharing these videos around on the internet, because I rely solely on word of mouth, and the recommended algorithms are not recommending any of my videos or films anymore. My channel has literally been completely restricted, so I rely on your help, and I need your help. So please help support this channel by sharing my work around if you appreciate it, and make sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber already, and leave me your comments. I definitely want to know what you have to share and what you have to think about all of this stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Y'all stay safe and take care of yourselves, and I will see you later.